What's the most insane thing your in-laws did when your baby was born? My mother-in-law literally called Child Protective Services on us. I'm not even joking. So my son Oliver was born 2 months early and had to stay in the NICU for 5 weeks. It was the scariest time of our lives. David and I were there every single day, sleeping in uncomfortable chairs, learning how to change tiny diapers through incubator holes. My mom Deborah visited almost daily too, but she wasn't there to help. She was pissed, like furious pissed. Why? Because I didn't let her in the delivery room when Oliver was born. I chose David, obviously, and my sister Emma. That's it. The room was already crowded with all the medical staff rushing around because of the emergency. But Deborah took this as some personal attack. She kept saying things like, "I gave birth to you, I should be there," and "I'm being robbed of my grandmother" moment. Lady, your grandson was fighting for his life, and you're worried about photo ops? The whole time Oliver was in the NICU, she'd make these passive-aggressive comments. Well, if I had been there from the beginning, maybe things would have gone differently. What does that even mean? Like my choice of delivery room guests caused premature labor? When Oliver finally came home, we were exhausted, but happy. David had taken 2 weeks off work, and we were figuring out this whole parenting thing. Oliver needed to eat every 2 hours, even at night. Our apartment looked like a baby supply store exploded. Bottles everywhere, burp cloths on every surface. About a month after we brought Oliver home, someone knocked on our door at 10 a.m. I was still in my pajamas because I'd been up since 4 a.m. with feedings. This woman shows her badge and says she's with Child Protective Services. My heart literally stopped. She said they received an anonymous report about child neglect. Someone claimed we were leaving Oliver alone for hours and that our home was unsafe. I started crying immediately. David rushed over in his work clothes, confused and panicking. The CPS worker, Janet, was actually really nice. She could tell we were just scared new parents, not neglectful ones. She walked through our apartment, checked our fridge for formula, looked at Oliver's crib setup, asked about his feeding schedule. Oliver was clean, fed, and sleeping peacefully in his bassinet. Our place wasn't Pinterest perfect, but it was clean and safe. Janet left after an hour saying everything looked fine and the case would be closed. But she had to investigate every report. That whole visit messed us up though. We kept second-guessing ourselves. Were we doing something wrong? Was Oliver crying too much? Were we terrible parents? A few days later, I was venting to my sister Emma about the whole thing. She got this weird look on her face and said, "Callie, I need to tell you something." Apparently, Deborah had been bragging to family members that she knew how to get our attention and that she had insider knowledge about our living situation. Emma said Deborah mentioned knowing our exact apartment number, what floor we lived on. Even that, I usually napped in the afternoons when David got home from work. We confronted Deborah about it. At first, she acted all innocent. Why would I do such a thing? I love my grandson. But she was a terrible liar. She kept getting defensive and saying things like, maybe someone is just concerned about Oliver's well-being. We cut off her visits after that. No more coming over unannounced. No more daily phone calls asking intrusive questions about Oliver's eating and sleeping. 2 weeks later, she sent this unhinged email to both David and me. The subject line was, "My grandson deserves better." The email basically said she had to scare us into growing up and that we needed a wake-up call. She wrote that Oliver deserved stability and mature parents, and that we were too young and irresponsible to handle a premature baby. David screenshotted everything and sent it to his lawyer buddy from college. The lawyer was like, "You need to save all of this." He helped us trace the IP address from the original CPS report. Guess whose address it matched? Deborah's. We filed a formal complaint with CPS about false reporting. Apparently, it's actually illegal to make fake reports, and they take it seriously because it wastes resources from real cases. Deborah tried one last desperate move. She filed for grandparent visitation rights, claiming we were keeping her from her grandson without cause. But with all the evidence of her calling CPS and her crazy email admitting to it, the judge threw it out immediately. I blocked her on everything.